This week's feast.
Tree Trunks' apple pie.
So we scoured the internet to find the best recipe for apple pie, but there's one caveat.
We only use recipes that were inspired by someone's grandmother or grandpa in respect to Tree Trunks.
Since Crystal Gem apples don't really exist, we got the next best thing. Red Delicious.
Also the most common apple, and, in my opinion, the most delicious. The rest of the ingredients are extremely simple, and you probably already have them in your kitchen. So, let's get baking.
First up, prepare your apples for baking by peeling and coring them. Now you can do this by hand, or you can just go out and buy one of the many devices out there to help you do it. Once your apples are de-skinned, slice them up into thin-sized chunks. You'll want them all to be close to the same width so they cook evenly in the oven. Store your sliced apples in the fridge while you prepare the rest of the recipe. Bring a saucepan to medium heat and melt your butter or shortening. Then add a little flour and stir it until it becomes a paste. Toss in your vanilla extract, water, white sugar, brown sugar, and stir it into a nice, thick goo. Finally, we put some cinnamon and nutmeg to give it that classic apple pie spice. Mix it all up and bring the pot to a boil, then reduce it to a simmer for 5 minutes. Now this stuff will thicken up really quickly, so just make sure to keep it warm and on the stove while you're preparing the next steps of the recipe. We use the store-bought pie crust for our 9-inch pan, but you can make your own as well. There are plenty of recipes online that are easy and tasty to make. Roll out your pie crust along the bottom of the pie and lightly press the corners in so that there are no empty spots. Then add your sliced apples in 3 layers. After each layer, coat it with your sauce and spread it evenly. This doesn't need to be perfect though, because this will all melt and combine once you toss it in the oven. Keep going with each layer until you reach the top. Perfecto. Now there are a few different ways to make the top of an apple pie. Tree Trunks just layered the whole crust on top and sliced a few holes in it for ventilation. We decided to make a lattice or a weave because it looks super cool. Roll out your pie crust and use a rolling pin to make it about an inch larger on all sides so that it will cover the top of the pie. Then, using a knife or pizza cutter, carefully slice 3/4-inch strips along the whole thing. Layer each strip across the top, then step by step add each horizontal strip and overlap the whole thing to create the weave. You'll be pulling alternating strips back, placing the horizontal strip on top, then putting them back together. No worries, you'll get the hang of it after a couple steps. Once you're done, cut off the excess dough on the sides, then using a fork, press down all around it to close it off. Stick it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for a solid hour. You should be able to poke through the apples with the toothpick by the time it's done. And voila! Delicious, simple, and aesthetically pleasing apple pie. We really love making a lattice on top with thin strips. Nothing screams classic apple pie more than an awesome looking weave. Plus, you can totally impress your friends. Now, slice that sucker up, serve piping hot with some ice cream or whipped cream, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Get it? Fruits! Okay, I'll stop.
And just like that, you have crafted an excellent, beautiful apple pie that rotates all on its own.
Ah, this looks beautiful.
I know, right?
This might be one of my favorite ones.
Well, you have to say that after you taste it.
Oh,
Speak.
but it looks so pretty.
You know, they say you eat with your eyes.
First?
First?
Like you first eat with your eyes?
Oh, you always eat with your eyes. I'm full.
Really? Okay, then I'll be taking all of this. Thanks.
Get back here.
All right.
Oh, I'm so excited. Feast up, Tree
Very
Trunks.
good.
Thank you
I've
for
got
everything.
nothing else to say right now. Come again
Hot,
later.
hot, hot, hot. That's hot. I could eat this every night. And by the looks of it, I will have at least 2 more nights where I can eat this every night. What do you think, Ashley? From 1 to 5 Ashleys, what do you give it?
4.5 Ashleys.
4.5 Ashleys. You heard it here first,
Bing,
folks.
bing, 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 bing. Sorry, I'm not contributing much to the conversation. It's not cool to eat with your mouth full, and this is more important to me right now.
You say it's
Sorry,
not,
guys.
You just said it's not cool to eat with your mouth full. Well.
All right, guys.
That's it for this week. See you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.